Hey guys, welcome back. Alright, this is going to be a read for Cancer. We're starting off in the etheric, and then we're going to ground it down to the 3D. I don't really know what to call this reading, to be honest with you. I do have my coffee, my what's supposed to be my green drink. When I tell you there's so much green in here, and yet, like, the turmeric literally turned it like this bright, like mustard seed yellow. I don't even know. There's like kale, spinach, cucumber, celery, um, green apples. It's all green, and then one spoonful of turmeric turned it like, yeah. So I guess it's gonna be like my yellow drink. We're trying to be healthier. We're trying to try is what we're doing. Cancers. Okay. Cancers. Let's see what's going on. I feel like you guys are doing okay. Okay. All right. I feel like you're in your own energy right now, Cancers. But let's see what's going on. I just feel like you're being silly, you're feeling silly, like you're finding happiness in the smaller things. And the things that you don't have control over, you're allowing things to just be. Okay, but let's continue going. If you guys are interested, I did do a manifestation ritual that would include anybody that's interested. The video is, it's like 5 minutes long. It's like 2 or 3 videos down. So if you guys want to get in that, or just be included in that, you guys are absolutely more than welcome to. Just watch the video to the end. Yeah, so anyway, let's get started. All right, Cancers. We've got focus. Yeah, right now you guys are focus, like dead ass focus. And the picture is a wizard, and you have a 5 here. You're focused on change. You're focused on trying to change the things that you can, on growth. You're focused on the growth, and I was gonna say change, the things that you're wanting change in your life, right? We can't exactly, there are circumstances where we can't really do much, but there are things we can do to change our circumstances, right? Let's say you get a divorce and then you're left alone with no income, and you're struggling because of, obviously everything else, right? Especially emotionally. And most times, a lot of people will use that, and they don't have control of where they are at this moment, but then they start going to school for a career, right? They start going to school for some kind of trade, or they start going to, let's say they're unhealthy, so they start to exercise, they start to get that revenge body. So you're really highly pinpoint focused on your growth, on being able to grow the things that you can grow. And yeah. And there's just so much, like, it's almost like it's almost like you have a garden in within yourself. Yeah. There's even a growth in spirituality. There's a growth in everything here. It feels like anything that you have no control over, you're setting to the side, and you're allowing things to play out the way they need to play out. And then, love you. And then the things that you are able to grow, that's what you're working on. And I feel like you're highly focused right now. Yeah, with stillness. With stillness, reflection. But look, this is like the ugly duckling turning into the beautiful swan. I don't think any of you guys are ugly ducklings, but a lot of people, especially when they grow up in a certain the way you grow up and the way that you're treated and the way that you feel about yourself because of the way that you're treated, the way that you're pushed down, and even like if you are different from the people around you, which most people that are in spirituality now were different in elementary and junior high and in high school. I know for a fact I was, and then I was always thicker. I've always had this thing with like losing a ton of weight and then gaining and losing and gaining, right? But even when I was thinner, it was always like, that seeing yourself for what you're not. And so I was out of the normal, if that made sense. I also went to a more privileged high school just because that was the way it was set up. Um, where I lived, it wasn't even like because I lived in a privileged neighborhood. No, no. Nay, nay. That's just the way it was set up. So I was bused, like, I want to say, like 5 miles from my home to a very privileged high school. So I also even felt even more out of the norm because, um, it was just not what I was used to, right? I was born and raised in LA, and then my family lives in Ensenada. My mom's side of the family lives in Ensenada, and that's about a 4-hour drive. It's like 3 hours and 45 minutes. So we would spend, if not every weekend, a lot of the weekends, and then most summers. So I spent like half my time in Mexico, half my time in California, and until we moved away from then, and then we spent less time, but we still went a lot. And so my upbringing wasn't very varied. There wasn't a lot of differences. It was mainly like I was very sheltered in what I saw growing up, right? Because even on TV, you didn't have a lot of the shows we have nowadays. Remember, this was in the 80s, okay? I'm dating myself and I really don't give a shit. But like, I used to watch Rainbow Bright. I used to watch yeah, it didn't happen until I moved to a state where there was the majority was of a specific, not only religion, but of a specific culture that I was culture shocked. In fact, I remember when we moved here, we had to go to one Mexican store that made tortillas because they didn't sell tortillas in any of the supermarkets. This was like in 92, 93. Within like 2 years is when they started to sell things, and then like within 4 years it started to boom, and now you're like you can find it everywhere. But when I moved to this state in like 92, 93, there was not tortillas in supermarkets. We had to go to a specific little Mexican store, right? um and so anyway, going back to what I was talking about, because I don't even know how I got that far. But yeah, you feel very outcasted. And then on top of your nationality, on top of being a girl, on top of being, I grew up in a very toxic environment, a very not great environment. And then, with my weight fluctuating. And then I was actually pretty smart when I was younger. I won a bunch of spelling bees. Um, and I would play the violin, and I would be in choir, and I just didn't fit in. I wasn't the only other Hispanic friends that were in school were like dating in 5th and 6th grade. I was like, what? I didn't even date in high school. I was just like, that's annoying. I had crushes, but I thought it was dumb. The love of my life was the library. I spent so much time, and that was the only place I was allowed to go anyway, the library. So I would walk down the library from my home, and then school. I was like Belle when I ended up in high school, and they had this amazing library. Anyway, you're fully trusting right now your guidance. You're fully trusting yourself, your guidance. You're trusting. Look at how big this solar ball is. Look at how this solar, just this like whole. Remember, your solar is like where your belly button, just above your belly button. That's where the ideas come from. That's where um everything creative, like all of your artistic, all of your ideas, your ventures, all of that comes from your solar, and it's lit bright. Like there's so many ideas. But not only that, remember that's where we get our intuition from. That's your first brain. right? We technically have three brains, but that's your first brain. It's your intuition. Your brain, this brain, it's very smart and, excuse me, it's very smart and, but you don't feel emotion through your brain, right? You feel it through your heart, right? And then your heart doesn't necessarily feel danger. Your solar does. But does your solar feel love and danger and intuition and all that? Yes. So it is your smartest brain. This does one specific, which is great at, because you see the logical, right? It's where you see the 3D versus the 5D. Your heart, yes, but it can also lead you astray without using this and that. Because if you follow your heart, then sometimes that's when we do stupid shit and we're like, but daddy, I love him. Like, girl, shut the fuck up. He has no job. He's an asshole. Like, stop. Just stop. But daddy, I love him. All right. Yeah. Completion, closing the door. You're closing the door on so many lessons, people. You're closing the door to a chapter. No, you're closing the door to a book. You're closing the door to a book. It's almost like uh okay, so the scene I'm getting is, oh, and it's making me a little bit like crybaby-ish. It's almost like when you graduate and you're moving out and you're going to college, or you're just moving out. Let's just say you're moving out. Let's just leave it at that. Um, and you're closing the door to your childhood bedroom, right? And it's that little bit of that, and it's not like it doesn't feel like it's gonna be like, oh, it'll be here when I come back. You know, it's the end of an era. Like, you know, this will never be the same. It will never feel the same. Like, where you're moving to, it's going to be, you're going somewhere completely different. This is the end of an era, but it's a good thing. Especially, look, you even have a five, which five, you know, is changes. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have Netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. Yes, yes. You've been preparing for this. You've been preparing for this. Remember, all of high school, for people that want to go to college, let's say, your all of high school is a prep for college, right? Or if you're working during high school, you know, you're saving up to get a car so you can move out to whatever it is that you're trying to do. It's all preparation for you to go into the next chapter of your life. And that's what you've been preparing for. And now you're graduating and it's time to move forward. And right now you are fully focused. There is nothing that can take your focus off of exactly where you're trying to grow and what you're trying to fix and heal. This is so powerful. This is so amazing and beautiful energy, Cancers. I love this. I love this. And I'm a Cancer sun, so I'm going to claim this for you, me, them, whoever. Right? Let me take a sip of my not so green juice. The only reason it's not so bad, it actually tastes decent, is because I put in vanilla sugar-free Greek yogurt. If not, honestly, it'd be gross. It would be gross if there's a lot of ginger in there too, so I can taste the ginger. Uh, but no, it's good. It's delicious. And yes, I am drinking it on recording on purpose because I hope that some of you will be like, yeah, I need to do better. Tristan, this is somebody who's struggling to do better with my. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I have felt like horrible. I have endometriosis, and I have like several other autoimmune conditions. So before my it's a Spanish word. I don't know how to say it in English. Anyway, you know, my season, basically, my red flow. It gets really rough, but this one was bad. Bad. I was just feeling like awful. You can still see it in my face. I'm like super puffy. You can tell that this week has not been great for me. I've still pushed through and been able to things I've been doing, because I am trying to be more dedicated and show up for myself more. but you can see it. Like it was a really rough week for me physically. Um, and so this morning I finally it started, and I was like, okay, I feel better, but I want chocolate. So I'm not gonna lie, I had a small slice of chocolate cake. But you know what? I've been doing really well all week with no carbs, no sugar, no nothing. Taking my vitamins, drinking my water, right? Even my coffee has like sugar-free creamer. And I was like, you know what? It's been a rough week. I have shown up really well for myself. I want chocolate, so I want chocolate. So now I'm having my orange drink or whatever. So there's balance, right? There's balance. I'll be completely transparent with you guys. It's not like I'm sitting here doing 1000%. We're trying to be better. All right, let's clarify focus. Ouch. What is going on with that phone? Yeah, focus, and it's 22. So there's a mastery here going on. And I saw A, which is 22A. I'll show you the card. 22A. So I'm getting mastery, but I'm getting like you got an A in this class. Like you passed this class and you passed it. You passed it with like an A, right? Um, it wasn't like you passed it just barely. Like no, you mastered this shit. You've gotten the mastery, you've gotten the PhD, and now you're using that and you're fully focusing, and you know exactly what you're doing, right? You've allowed yourself to go through the emotions, to go through what you had to do. I feel like you really did follow your intuition for most of the time. And then you got butterfly, you got metamorphosis, but I don't feel like you guys are going through metamorphosis. I feel like you guys are going to start coming out of that cocoon soon, right? Yeah, look, it says time. It's time. Be open. Yeah, like this is you already coming out. It's time to embrace the changes. Um, this is the evolution of your soul. Yeah, you're rising up. This is not like you're going into the cocoon. This is not like you're in the middle of a transformation. This is literally you're cracking the shell of that cocoon and you're coming out and you're coming out um stupid. A Bug's Life. I'm a beautiful butterfly. All right, I have two daughters, okay? So I grew up with all those movies. All right. Um yeah, you're inspiring yourself, you're inspiring people, and then you're reinventing yourself. Literally, this whole reading is about you reinventing yourself. But I feel like when people say, oh, I'm reinventing myself, it's somebody that wakes up. I don't know if you've seen these movies where they're like, I just want to become a different person. It's not like you're reinventing yourself. It's like you know now who you are. And basically, your innards. I'm so sorry I used that word. The inside is going to start matching the outside. I feel like for you guys, the changes started happening on the inside. And then the outside is going to start matching the inside, right? There's a lot of work that was done on the inside because I feel like for cancers, and I mean for everybody, but honestly, us cancers, we get it rough. We get it rough. And just depending on your chart, like that's it, we get it rough. So there was a lot of things that we had to overcome to release and understand that none of that shit was ours. None of that shit was ours. Putting boundaries up, putting hard boundaries up. And when a cancer puts hard boundaries up, you know they're different. They're not the same anymore. Clarifying growth. Yeah, you got woman. You are the querent, a person you know. There is a love interest coming in. There's some kind of love interest coming in. Fiance, somebody you could possibly get married to. Clarifying stillness. Yeah, this is the Wheel of Fortune. Your time is coming. It's your time. Your time. The universe has said, okay, it's time now. Fate. This is fate. Cycle, forces of the universe. You're getting what you deserve. And this is honestly like, it's not even anything that you have to do. It's what you've already done, right? This is something that is destined. This is something that is meant for you. This is something that is it's synchronized at this time and it's happening now, right? With trust and the elephant, You've gotten all A's here. And then instead of this doesn't have an A. This has the four-leaf clover, which is good luck. I mean, but you have A's all across the board. Your report card is looking great. Um, yeah, trusting. You're getting a lot of downloads in your dreams. I feel like you're having a lot of dreams. You're having a lot of astral meetings. You're having a lot of meetings with your guides and everything. And I feel like they're saying that everything's the way it's meant to be. Everything's going to plan. You're treating yourself very gently. But there is a need to keep your wits about you, right? Remember, when you're graduating class, there's always that, those horror stories that they talk about, like those kids at their graduation, they have a big party, they get drunk, they drive, and then there's always like a death at a graduation. I don't know if that's actually true, but we grew up with those movies and those stories and stuff. So it's kind of like that kind of just make sure that you're not putting yourself in positions when you're at your graduating class or allowing people to come in and be like, oh, I got it. No, no, no. Don't allow those people to come in at the last minute and be like, hey, take you out of where you've already mastered, right? Yeah, no, because right now you're very powerful and you're trusting and you're very wise. And right now you can easily remove obstacles. It's not even that hard, honestly. There's a lot of telepathic communication. There's a lot of support. You're just being, it's just like, imagine like a family that loves you unconditionally. I'm having to use my imagination because I don't actually know what this feels like. But imagine a family that loves and adores you and you graduate, right? What would they do? I'm I did a party for my daughter when she graduated, right? I invited everybody. We had food, we had drinks, we had everything. And people came and brought her gifts. Like they were very supportive of her and I. And it was a very happy moment for me, right? So that's what I mean. Like you're being supported, you're being shown love, you're being shown the love and support that people are there for. Clarifying closing door. Yeah, you got rule breaker, you're maverick, you're independent, you're a maverick. You're going to move forward the way you know you need to move forward. And you're going to, when I think of maverick, I think of somebody that does things and knows where to bend the rules and where to break them, but not in order to cause chaos, in order to change the status quo, to be different, to make a difference, right? Being bold, being a rebel against the status quo, being independent, being sovereign of emotionally, financially, unconventional, thinking outside the box. What did I say? Being different. Especially cancers. Cancer signs are, um, they're, why can't I think of the word? Cancers are, oh my gosh. There's mutable, there's, um, it'll come to me, but I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It's right there. Yeah, they're very defiant. They're loose cannons. They're risk takers, but in the way where they know where to push the boundary enough so that they can make that difference, but they know they can get away with it, right? They know they can make a difference, and so they learn the rules to break the rules correctly. Yeah, with the moon and the intuition. Yeah, no, you guys are like literally, um, you guys are way makers. You guys pave the way for people behind you. Oh my god, what's that word that I'm thinking of? I know somebody can say, if somebody's saying it and I can kind of hear you yelling it at me, but I cannot for the life of me. Um Cardinal. Cardinal. You guys are cardinal signs. It means you guys are waymakers. You open paths for people that have where it's been blocked for so many lifetimes, right? For ancestors, for women, for whatever it is, right? It doesn't matter what it is, but you guys are the makers of ways. You're the cardinal signs, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, things are looking great. Things are looking great. Keep your focus. All right. Let me get you guys some. Don't mind my cat. I don't know what he's doing. Mavis. Mavis. He's one of my black cats, so we named him after Mavis from Hotel Transylvania. Mavy Wavy, because he looks like the bat when she turns into a bat. Anyway, yeah, and then I have another black cat, and his name is Toothless, because he looks like Toothless the dragon. He looks so much like, even his ears were pointed like that when he was a baby, and he has those green eyes. Anyway, but Mavis wants attention. So he's over there meowing up a storm. I did these in reverse. That's fine. Life energy. Oh, it's kind of dark in here, huh? The happy fairy of sunshine brings lots of life-giving energy. Yeah. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. What did I say? Your focus on growing, your focus on healing, your focus on trying to fix whatever it is, and not fix, right? Because it's not broken. It really is just trying to grow and heal in the areas that now will match with it within as so without, right? And within feels great, and now we have to match that with on the outside of us, okay? Cancers, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for being here. And again, if you guys want to get into that the manifestation candle, it's like 2 videos behind. I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.